Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Hey folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com. Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em.
Before you put your company logo or event name on the streets, say it with authority. Apparel Authority. Now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's. Shirts, hats, cups, pens, patches, we put your logo on almost anything. Our team provides quality craftsmanship and custom embroidery, and our screen printing will turn your design into wearable works of art. Call or stop by in person for a quote. Apparel Authority, now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's.
This just in. A large storm in the Gulf has all but decimated the entire Gulf shrimping industry, with the exception of a lone shrimping boat manned by a legless veteran and a young gentleman that hasn't stopped waving at our cameras or telling us his mama's advice. Odd. In completely unrelated news, Kudzu Seafood Company, the authentic Gulf Coast seafood restaurant that brought the coast to Middle Georgia, has also cornered the shrimp market in Central Georgia. Barbecue shrimp and cheese grits, buffalo shrimp, firecracker shrimp tacos, shrimp po' boys, shrimp burgers, shrimp baskets, and Dr. Pepper, all on 3rd Street in downtown Macon. Stay tuned for more breaking news.
Join us Monday and get Thursday night. We are live from Stoner's Pizza on Forsyth Road. I am Russell Deese, and welcome to another edition of Gridiron Gab, as we are live here at Stoner's Pizza on Forsyth Road, and we want to thank all of our sponsors. Of course, Stoner's Pizza, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, Apparel Authority, Cherokee Brick and Tile, Bill Harden Music, BT Media Productions, the Macon Touchdown Club. Don't forget, we've got one more meeting of the Macon Touchdown Club this Monday night. It's a reschedule from the Hurricane Week that we had to cancel, and we'll be joined by a 4-time All-Pro and 4-time Super Bowl champion and former Lanier High School great J.T. Thomas. He'll be here Monday night at the Methodist Children's Home on Pierce Avenue. Back to our sponsors, of course, Kudzu Seafood, Texas Border Grill, everybody that makes this happen every week. So good evening and happy Thanksgiving to you. I am Russell Deese, and I have a new man to introduce to you here. One of my former broadcast partners, Mark O'Quinn. Mark, good to have you with us, man.
It's good to be here, man. I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It's good to be here at Stoner's Pizza Joint. Wonderful place to meet and talk about some football.
Yes.
Had some good games today, good games tomorrow, and a lot on the slate.
Yeah, you and I just got through watching a pretty good game. It was Arkansas and Missouri, and it was like the last team with the ball was going to score, and
it was.
That's exactly what happened. Is Arkansas goes down and ties the game with 2 minutes to go, and left too much time on the table. 2 minutes for Missouri, and Locke took them down the road and got them a field goal with 6 seconds to go in the game.
Absolutely. Drew Locke, man, throwing the ball all over the place. Really, after that Georgia game, they just went on a tear, and they were playing great offense. Not a lot of defense, but great offensively. Kind of reminded me of that game against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Not as high scoring, but that same dynamic. And Drew Locke made a big play down the stretch, and they were able to hold them and then get that field goal at the end and go ahead, and it was a great game. Yeah,
they're an interesting football team. Obviously, they've got some work to do on defense, but you hit the nail on the head. After the Georgia game, when I watched them, they opened up the season and threw I forgot who they opened up again. It was a FCS school, I think, and they threw for 400 yards in the first half. And Missouri obviously has been through a lot of tumultuous times here the last couple of years, both on the campus as well as the athletic department. But when I saw Auburn play them, they looked awful. I thought they were the worst team in the country. And then they came down and played Georgia really good for 2 quarters. Mm-hmm. And you could just see the maturation process started Drew Locke there. And since then, he's been on a roll. They're going to finish 7-7 and 500 in the SEC. Mm-hmm. And at the first of the year, from what I saw on TV, they were not. They were a team destined to maybe win 1 football game.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw them at the first of the year, you didn't think they were going to be bowl eligible. And they're sitting here with 7 wins. Drew Locke, I mean, has just progressed week after week. This is a quarterback that's going to play in the NFL. I mean, I think you look at his style of play, how he slings it around.
Sophomore, is that right?
I think he's a junior.
Junior,
I think he's
right.
a junior.
Junior.
I mean, I remember last year them playing Georgia at Missouri. I mean, a game they probably should have won. First time I really got to see him play, he was unbelievable. And, I mean, he had like 3 or 4 touchdown passes against the Dogs this past year. I mean, in Sanford, that says a lot to go against that defense and do what he did. And then, of course, tonight just willing his team back into that game and winning it and putting them at 7 wins and at bowl eligibility. And I think that says a lot. And Drew Locke is really an incredible talent over there at Missouri.
Yeah, he finished with 448 yards on the night, and they had Witter, the running back, go for 170 yards. So, I mean, they put up 600 yards of offense tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So they're clicking on all cylinders as far as that goes. Quickly, we do want to get back to we'll get back into this week's schedule. It's rivalry week, the best week of the year, the saddest week of the year, because this means it's the last week of the regular season and football soon to be over. But I wanted to touch on high school. We do have some local teams that are still in it. Jones County 11-1 goes to play Carver of Atlanta, that is 11-1. It's interesting they had to bring in their first round playoff game. Jones County's quarterback broke his ankle, and he's in a cast. And they brought the sophomore reserve in. He came off the bench last week and threw for 305 yards and 3 touchdowns. But they got a tall task going up to Carver, Atlanta tonight.
They really do, and it's exciting to see what Jones County is doing. A lot of good programs in the Middle Georgia area. Of course, you have Northside and Warner Robins, and then Jones County. I think from the last 4 years, who have really turned it around, and they're just doing amazing. And that program, I mean, they've progressed over these last few years, and that last game was a heck of a game. And for a kid like that, a sophomore, to come in and lead them to victory, it said a lot. Well,
they're still in it. Warner Robins is undefeated. They've got to take on Carrollton. as our good friend Davey Keys, hotty toddy gotcha almighty, baby. He's celebrating that Rebels win last night, rather. And they certainly put it on Mississippi State. Hurt that poor old boy that's quarterback from Mississippi State. I couldn't believe that.
Whatever you got to do.
Whatever it takes, baby. But the Rebels, a much needed win for the Rebels last night, and that's a good positive note for their program and their coach to end it on last night. We also have thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Warner Robins 12-0. They go to Carrollton. Stratford is at Mount Perrin, and Warner Robins is at home tonight. Mary Persons is at home tonight. So hopefully we'll get an update out of that. I know a couple guys at that game, and Mary Persons
7 straight, right?
Yeah. Yes, I believe 7 or 8 straight. Warner Robins, of course. And Peach County. Peach County's still alive in it, too. So we got Jones, Warner Robins, Mary Persons, Peach County, and Coach Fairable and the Stratford Eagles. They're still alive. They go on the road against Mount Perrin, which is 11-1. It's Elite 8. Yep. Make it to the semi. I think once you get to the semifinals, anything can happen.
Oh, absolutely.
At that point, you've proven you're good enough to go all the way, and at that point, who knows what's going to happen. So Stratford, Warner Robins, Jones County, Mary Persons, and Peach County. Good luck to those guys tonight. Chad Campbell down at Peach County, they're rolling.
Oh, yeah.
They Peach County is at home tonight as well. Well, before we go any further, we do have to look at last week's scores in the SEC. South Carolina, it was Cupcake Saturday last week for the most part. South Carolina beat Wofford 31-10. Texas A&M and Ole Miss, they played. A&M came out on top of that one, 31-24. Auburn played Louisiana Monroe 42-14 in that game. Bama rolled the Mercer Bears by a score of 56-0.
Mercer, man, just getting.
God, they got hurt, didn't they? And then Florida beat UAB. And you know what? I kind of thought that might be the upset game last week because Bill Clark at UAB had them coming in at 8-2.
Yeah.
They had I think 8-2 is where they were at. Maybe that was 7-2 because I think they have a game this week. Last week would have finished it up. They were 8-2 going into that game.
Let's talk about the fact that Mercer played Alabama and Auburn in the same season.
Going to do it again in a couple of years.
I mean, taking their licks though, but I mean they're learning. They're learning, and it was good for that program. I just want to mention that. I thought that was pretty awesome. Them coming up and kind of gave Auburn a little test early, but
Yeah, I mean it was a weird game. Auburn had come off a big win the week before, and they came into that game and they put almost 600 yards of offense up against Mercer, but they put the ball on the ground 5 times and let Mercer hang around. But they got the win. As we said, South Carolina beat Wofford. Georgia beat Kentucky. Vandy lost to Missouri 45-17. The Georgia-Kentucky game, how much of that did you get to watch last week?
I watched a good bit of it. And Kentucky, man, their running back, his name slips my mind, but, I mean, what a great running back they have. I mean, he's a hoss. Just goes 100% every play, just a hard runner. And he made it tough on the Dogs early. I mean, that at half, that game, I think it was maybe a 2-touchdown differential, maybe not, maybe a little less than that.
I thought Kentucky early in that game left some scoring opportunities slip by. They had on their opening drive a tight end wide open on the 3-yard line. He just threw it high and he couldn't catch it. They had a couple other plays in that first half that game could have been a lot closer.
A lot of missed opportunities for Kentucky.
But that's sometimes the difference between a good football team and an average football team.
It's true. You got to do the little things. You got to hit on your chances. But I mean, let's go back. Kentucky should have beat Florida, in my opinion. I think they were a better team than Florida. They should have won. That was a close game, a 1-point game.
Right.
I think they had a loss. I can't recall to who, but it was another close loss. So, I mean, you're talking about a Kentucky team who really should have come into that Georgia game with only 1 loss and playing for a lot more than they were. But they had a lot of tough breaks. But granted, Stoops is doing a great job at that program, and he's really shaping up that program to be something special.
Well, we'll talk about what they've got coming up this weekend as they go to Knoxville to take on the mighty Volunteers of Tennessee with Brady Hoke as the as
who's the coach now?
Brady Hoke. So who knows? We and we're going to talk a little bit about tonight about all this crazy coaching stuff that could not go down by the end of the weekend, by Sunday, no later than Monday. And the running back for Kentucky is Benny Snell. He is second in the lead with 1,107 yards, just ahead of Nick Chubb and right behind Kerryon Johnson of Auburn. So he's had a heck of a year. And
in a league with so many great backs, I mean, Darius Geis just makes such a difference for that LSU team. And, of course, Kerryon Johnson and Nick Chubb. I mean, to sit at the number 2 leading rusher in the league, I think says a lot. And for Kentucky to have a talent like Benny Snell, that's great for that program. And I mean, what a hoss. He's made a difference for them, and it's incredible to watch him play and do what he's doing.
Yeah, we have let's see, 2, 4, 6 guys. Kerryon Johnson with 1,172 yards on the year. Snell at Kentucky 1,107. Chubb has 1,045. Then Geis for LSU 1,020. Eris Williams, running back from Mississippi State, 1,019. That was going into last night's game. Jordan Wilkins from Ole Miss had 1,011 yards. And just behind them was Nick Fitzgerald from Mississippi State, who had 984 going into last night.
Wow.
He was only 93 yards behind Cam Newton's single-season rushing record
for a
quarterback going into that game, and only 16 yards short of 1,000.
Yeah.
And I believe he got the 1,000 before he got hurt. That was a gruesome injury last week.
And you look at Darius Geis. Darius Geis missed a couple of games too, and his numbers could have been a little bit better. But yeah, such great talents, that whole list. And Nick Fitzgerald, I hate it. Prayers his way. It was a gruesome injury, but I know he'll bounce back. And he was great for that Mississippi State team. Had some great games. I mean, just throttled LSU that one game where he had over 100 yards rushing in it. Just an incredible talent and really fun to watch, and hope he can recover quickly.
All right, when we come back, we're going to take our first break of the night. When we come back, we'll look at the schedule ahead for this week on Rivalry Weekend. I encourage your calls tonight, 478-550-0524. We're talking the Iron Bowl as our pick'em contest. And just for fun, we'll probably take a shot at Georgia and Georgia Tech. But the contest for tonight is going to be the Iron Bowl. Auburn at Alabama. Only 5 more weeks, including this week, to get in on the grand prize. And we'd love to have you be a part of it. You're listening to Gridiron Gab on ESPNSports.com. We'll be back after these timeouts.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Hey folks, and welcome back live. We're live at Stoner's Pizza on Forsyth Road, and we've got our first caller of the night, and we'll go to the phones, and we've got Kid on the phone. What's up, my brother? War Eagle, you ready for the Iron Bowl, ain't you?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
All right, so talk a little bit about what you see in this game.
Well, I've seen an Alabama defense that for the first time in probably 5 or 6 years has some weaknesses. And I've seen an Auburn offense for the first time in 5 or 6 years that can exploit it. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I think this Alabama defense, with their depth taking a hit, losing those linebackers, I think it's really made a difference for them. And definitely against Mississippi State last week, they were on their toes and had a chance to lose that game, and it was because their defense has been weaker than usual. And if you factor in how Stidham's got that offense going, Gus has that offense going back, really how it looked in 2013 when it was clicking on all cylinders, I think that shapes up for a pretty competitive contest in Jordan Hare tomorrow.
Hey, Kit, go ahead.
Yeah, I just feel like, I really hope we mind the whole LSU game. So.
Well, I think, he said, he learned his lesson in the LSU game, and since that game, he's not taking his foot off the gas. And, starting in the Arkansas game, he came out and he was steady in the first half and then kind of poured it on in the second half, and he's kind of done that in every game since then, including the Georgia game, which was obviously, I think, his best coaching job since 2013, without a doubt.
Right, and I agree. I just, Alabama is one of those teams you can't even downshift. You got to keep it to the metal. So.
Well, Kit,
Absolutely.
Can you imagine what the atmosphere? I mean, the atmosphere they said at the Georgia game. It's the first one I've missed in a long, long time. I don't know how many years. And they said it was just incredible in Auburn. Can you imagine what it's going to be like there tomorrow afternoon in Auburn, Alabama?
Oh, my gosh, I'm telling you.
All right.
It's going
Implication-wise, has there been a bigger Iron Bowl since 2013?
Not that I can remember. I mean, this is all the marbles, basically.
It's as big as 010.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Even though Alabama, I think, technically was out of that game for the SEC West that year. It was down to us and LSU, I believe. Mm-hmm. If we lost, LSU would have gone. I don't think Alabama could have gone in 010. All right, give me a prediction on the score.
Prediction on the score. I'm going to say Auburn 42, Alabama 27.
42-27.
Interesting.
Not a lot. That doesn't sound like those two vaunted defenses are going to show up.
Yeah, I want some. I want to leave little room for doubt.
I hear you, and then get.
I know both teams are going to score, but I don't want there to be any. I don't want them to be like all the Georgia fans and saying, "Boy, we sure want to play y'all again."
Well, they're going to get a chance to play one of the two of them tomorrow before it's over with. All right. Hey, I got you down at 42-27. I hope you're right.
I do too, brother.
All right, you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes, sir, I did. Ate too much. But
Didn't we all?
That's a good sign.
Georgia Tech is going to be close?
I don't think so.
I don't either. I think it's going to be like Georgia-Kentucky game last week. I think Dogs roll 42-17, something like that.
There's a lot of good old-fashioned hate there, and Georgia's got way more in the tank than Georgia Tech does, so I don't think it's going to be close at all.
I don't either, brother. All right, man. Thank you for calling. I'll catch up with you.
Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, man.
All right, that was Kit, our first prognostication of the night. 42-27. I don't know, man.
27.
That's a lot of
Is
points.
this the Big 12?
Yeah, it's a Pac-12.
Oh, man.
That seems like a lot. All right.
Thanksgiving got him feeling right.
Absolutely. All right, we're rolling to the top of the hour. We're going to go back and get that hard break in we missed a few minutes ago. And when we come back, we'll get into this week's schedule and your calls, 478-550-0524.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Hey folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com. Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'Em You Sell 'Em.
Before you put your company logo or event name on the streets, say it with authority. Apparel Authority. Now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's. Shirts, hats, cups, pens, patches, we put your logo on almost anything. Our team provides quality craftsmanship and custom embroidery, and our screen printing will turn your design into wearable works of art. Call or stop by in person for a quote. Apparel Authority, now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's.
This just in. A large storm in the Gulf has all but decimated the entire Gulf shrimping industry, with the exception of a lone shrimping boat manned by a legless veteran and a young gentleman that hasn't stopped waving at our cameras or telling us his mama's advice. Odd. In completely unrelated news, Kudzu Seafood Company, the authentic Gulf Coast seafood restaurant that brought the coast to Middle Georgia, has also cornered the shrimp market in Central Georgia. Barbecue shrimp and cheese grits, buffalo shrimp, firecracker shrimp tacos, shrimp po' boys, shrimp burgers, shrimp baskets, and Dr. Pepper, all on 3rd Street in downtown Macon. Stay tuned for more breaking news.
Join us Monday night at the Methodist Children's Home on Pierce Avenue as the Macon Touchdown Club continues its 72nd season of honoring student athletes. Our program will begin at 6:30 with our dinner soon to follow. Our guest speaker this week is none other than former University of Georgia All-American and ESPN analyst Matt Stitzcomb. That's Monday night, November the 6th at the Methodist Children's Home. It's the Macon Touchdown Club. We'll see you on Monday night. For more information, just log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey, and welcome back on a Thursday night. We are live, Russell Deese with Marco Quinn, our guest host here tonight, and we are talking rivalry weekend, and that's easy for you. Rivalry. You sound like Elmer Fudd when you say that 3 times real well. Rivalry weekend. Let's run down that schedule for this weekend. Of course, Missouri has already beaten Arkansas tonight. What was that, 48-45 was the final?
48-45, yep.
48-45, yeah, they kicked a field goal with 6 seconds to go. And Drew Lock from Missouri over 440 yards. They rushed, Witten rushed for 170. It was quite an offensive performance by Missouri tonight, and a team that certainly has got better as the season has gone along. Of course, tomorrow, South Carolina at Williams-Brice Stadium hosts the Clemson Tigers. Hey, Keegan, we're going to talk a little bit about what transpired in the ACC a little later on. Florida and Florida State, they were going to play at the Swamp. They decided just to flip a coin and have a handshake and both go home. They're not going to play. 4-6 Florida against 4-6 Florida State, and they're 3-5 because both of these teams lost their FCS games to the Hurricanes, and they didn't make it up.
Yep.
We'll have to keep an eye on that Central Florida. South Florida score. We'll see if you got any.
We'll see what we got.
See if you got a score on that for us, Mark. Okay, Bandy.
34-28, South Florida.
South Florida. That
Believe
was.
it or not.
I picked them as one of my upsets this weekend. So Charlie Strong against
35-34 UCF. Just updated. 35-34
so
UCF.
they just scored.
7:30 left in the fourth.
Well, see, I was going to look brilliant there for a moment, but that's all right. Just a matter of minutes, I'll come up with something more brilliant. 0-7 in the conference, Vanderbilt versus 0-7 Tennessee. I know that'll be one of the big games you'll want to watch tomorrow to see what goes on with Vanderbilt and Tennessee. Texas A&M 7-4, 4-3 in the conference. They take on LSU's 8-3 and 5-2 in the conference. That's an interesting game. Is that Kevin Sumlin's last game as an Aggie? He started so well his first 4 years in the league and kept ending up 8-4.
Yep.
Ended up 1 year 9-4. But that'll be an interesting game, and old Coach O gonna have them playing down in Baton Rouge. And then Kentucky hosts Louisville. Bobby Petrino, I think Bobby, he's sitting at 7-4, and Kentucky's at 7-4. Petrino's.
Kentucky beats Louisville. I think they have that game tomorrow, man. I think this is a Kentucky Louisville matchup that's been as much as Kentucky's favor as it has been.
And
Lamar
Louisville,
Jackson and all.
Yeah. Is there a little distraction going on with Bobby Petrino's name keep getting brought up to finally make the league back to an SEC scope?
Absolutely. I think that's always. I think having him as a coach is always a little bit of a distraction, to say the least. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but
I've got
no disrespect. But
I've got an official Bobby Petrino Motorcycle Club jacket. It's really nice silhouette like you see on the flaps on the truck.
Okay.
But obviously his name's going to get mentioned again and again and again this week. But
him and Lane Kiffin are always the ones they throw out there. I think when the smoke's rising, they always throw out Bobby Petrino and Lane Kiffin as potential candidates, and it's always going to be that way. Petrino, great offensive mind, pretty solid coach, but it's always a distraction. It always rears its ugly head. I feel like.
Yeah, listen, I'm just telling you. I mean, everybody, Lane Kiffin that first year at Alabama went. What did he go? 7-4.
Yeah.
8-3. No.
First year with Tennessee.
8-4, wasn't it, or 7-5?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
It was a solid.
Came within 2 back-to-back block field goals of beating Alabama in Tuscaloosa his first year, and then he bolted, of course, to USC, and the Tennessee fans went crazy.
Just throttled Georgia his first year too.
And then you got Derek Dooley, and what can you say? And
those orange pants, though, man.
He was happening with those orange pants. So Lane Kiffin is down at FAU, Florida.
Can I just say something? Are you a Twitter guy?
Yeah, I've got.
Are you on Twitter? Do you follow Lane's tweets?
Absolutely.
Have you seen how he trolls Alabama? Don't you have to respect that?
Yeah. Well, how about the other day? The article came out that he said he texts Saban all the time.
Yeah.
And that Saban's wife usually has to answer because Nick won't text him.
Because he won't text him back. I mean, that might not be a problem for him.
And I'm just telling you right now, Lane Kiffin is no more afraid of Nick Saban than I am. And he just does it just to irritate him.
Oh, absolutely. I think that played a big part of him having an early exit in the postseason last year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't think those personalities really correlated well. But whatever. He's a character. You have to have characters like that. You don't want it to be boring. You have to have what I like to call the heel types.
Wait a minute. Is he Is he the modern incarnation or the next generation of Steve Spurrier? I think he is.
That's a good question.
I think he is.
Offensive mind. I mean, he's
he's as good a play caller as there is in the country.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, he is the best play caller in the country. I mean, and he has to have some acumen because he went to Nick Saban and got him to go to a spread offense.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought Saban would have done that? And
Yeah.
this guy was capable and smart enough from a football intelligence standpoint and said, look, Nick, here's what we got to do. And I'm sure Nick Saban understood that the game has evolved a little bit.
Yeah.
He still had to convince him to do that and bring in a quarterback like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and they had Blake Sims in 14, and they evolved to that offense, and it worked pretty well. They fell short in the postseason then, but still a great offense, and it worked well. And now Jalen Hurts working that in last year, and I think it says a lot for him to come to a guy like Saban who is so. I don't use the negative term, but stubborn in his ways, but for good reason.
Right, it worked.
Him using the power play worked. That style of play rather worked for him, and I think it says a lot about
play
Kiffin.
Defense. Don't turn the ball over. It's a thing that's worked since the beginning of football.
And people say what they want about Kiffin. I mean, he has some negative aspects, but can be kind of a distraction every now and then. But you got to love the guy to a certain extent. You got to respect some of his antics. It keeps things interesting. And I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be at the top program in the next few years, and I think he's gonna find success. He's gonna figure some things out. He'll stop doing the things that kind of detract from the good things about him, and he'll figure it out. He'll be successful with a top tier program.
All right, so let's go back. Let me run through this schedule quickly again.
Oh, yeah.
Georgia is at Grant Field at Georgia Tech tomorrow. Carolina hosts Clemson. Florida hosts Florida State. Vandy travels to Tennessee. A&M plays at LSU. I believe that game is at LSU. Let me just confirm that. It's at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. Kentucky hosts Louisville in their game, and then Alabama goes to Auburn. So let's get in, before we get in this discussion about the two main games we want to talk about, Georgia Tech, Auburn, Alabama. Let's talk about this coaching carousel a little bit. Do you think this was Bellomo's last game at Arkansas?
Illinois. So he's sitting at 4-8.
Right.
I got to say, I think any time an SEC team doesn't become bowl eligible, that's a lot of cause for concern.
And this is year 5 for him, just like it is Malzahn and someone, right?
Year 5,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right. All 3 of those came the same year.
I think if you asked –
and Hugh Freeze, but we know what happened with him. He's gone. See ya. Here's your phone. Call me.
And throw it away.
But anyway. Use a burner. You didn't use it last time.
No, I think whenever you're sitting at 4-8 and you don't become bowl eligible as an SEC program, and I know Arkansas is in an Alabama or an Auburn or a Georgia in prestige, but I mean you're still an SEC program. I mean this is a team that I want to say in 2000. Was it 2009 or 10 that Petrino was there? And
they went 10-2,
game away from
10-2
playing for the SEC championship. I mean, it had some solid teams, and you've had people come through like McFadden and Felix Jones, top tier NFL talent.
What was the quarterback's name over there? Remember the big tall kid?
Mitch Mustang.
Right? Well, but now that was back during Houston Nutt's time.
Oh, that's right.
The kid that went on to the Patriots, I can't remember his name.
Mallett.
Yeah,
Ryan
Mallett. That's right.
So a lot of talent coming through Arkansas, and I don't know. I just think when you get to the point where you're not bowl eligible, I think that's when you can have that conversation, and I think that conversation's being had, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him on his way out. I hate it. I hate it every time that happens to someone. It's unfortunate, but hey, it's an SEC program, and quite frankly, 4 wins is just not going to cut it.
No.
I don't think anywhere. So wouldn't be surprised to see that.
So now we know Tennessee's going to be looking for a new coach. I think we talked about this off the air about what's going to happen at Ole Miss.
Sure.
I don't know if that kid's going to get a shot. Listen, the NCAA gave them the letter last week, what their final decision on the punishment was for the recruiting violations and the Hugh Freeze thing. They've known that. The NCAA decided not to release it until after the Egg Bowl. The Egg Bowl's done, so we may get wind of it tomorrow or Monday. That's coming. I'm not for sure who wants to take the Ole Miss job with this hanging over them. Obviously, they couldn't during the last couple of weeks of the season. No, there was not even any point in going and talking to a prospective coach because they weren't. I'm not doing anything until you show me what the punishment's going to be.
Sure.
So Ole Miss is probably going to be looking for somebody.
They will, and you have the guy who stepped in who was already on the coaching staff. I can't recall his name right now, but he's like you said when we were talking about it off the air. He's a hometown guy. He played at Ole Miss, went to Ole Miss.
Right.
Dad is a legacy. Dad played at Ole Miss. So his heart's with that program. And depending on how bad these sanctions are, you're probably going to have someone who just loves that place and wants to see it succeed no matter the circumstance. So maybe that guy is your guy. I don't know. I'll throw this name out there. Maybe a Mike Leach. That's a name. That's a name that's been thrown out.
But would you leave Washington State, where you've got it pretty good? You're going to have a 9-3 football team probably.
Yeah.
Maybe 10. I think they're 8-3 going in.
Yeah.
And they play Washington in the Applejack or Paul Bunyan thing, whatever they do up there. But you don't leave Washington State to go to a 3-year probation Ole Miss school, I don't think.
No, yeah, and that might.
Now
be
maybe if that was not. Now, would you leave and go to Tennessee? Oh yeah. Would you leave and go to Texas A&M? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
you're right. That sanction, it's probably going to be hard to overcome.
So let's talk about somebody else now. Did you go look at a guy like Chris Hatcher from Sanford? Here's my thing. Even if you're an FCS coach, they're going to pay you a lot of money, but do you want to walk into a situation like that? I think you go as a coordinator. I'm not for sure you leave a FCS school for $500,000 more for 3 years that are not going to be very good because you can't recruit. You're going to be crushed on the recruiting side.
Sure.
That's where they're going to hurt them.
Sure.
No bowl appearance probably for 1 year.
They were already on a bowl ban this year.
Well, that was self-imposed.
Yeah.
Self-imposed. So I don't know if an upper tier FCS big name guy leaves to go to that particular situation.
No, I don't think so. When it's all said and done, I don't think that's going to be the outcome. I think it's going to have to be, like you said, maybe an FCS coach who's worth his salt and feels
a coordinator
who feels like it's a good opportunity, something they probably wouldn't have bearing the situation if the situation wasn't like it is with the bans and this prospective sanctions that are looming out there. And it might be like can't really lose anything, got everything to gain.
It's a lot of young guys on that.
If you are referring to the hypothetical young guy who is at a small FCS school or is a coordinator, one like that. But yeah, I think you're right. I think when it comes down to it, there's not going to be a lot of excitement with the candidate who ends up coming in there, and for good reason. I think when you have these sanctions and you have these built-up things against you, it's hard to come back.
Yeah, and you're playing in the SEC West.
Yeah.
Because Alabama's still going to be good. Auburn's still going to be good.
Mississippi State's on the rise.
Mississippi State's probably going to be good.
Yeah.
LSU's good. All right, so now we've got Ole Miss out of the way where they're going to need a coach. We know probably Arkansas is as well. Mm-hmm. We know the Florida – is Chip Kelly going to be the Florida coach or not?
I don't know, man.
What's the deal?
I keep reading different things. A couple of days ago,
well, now wait a minute. I heard that he could not make an announcement about it until they played the Florida State game.
Okay.
And it had something to do with some clause in the NFL because he's still getting paid from Philly and San Francisco. I think still paying him.
Must be nice.
Yeah, he's like what was that guy from the guy that was the coordinator at the Patriots that went to Florida and then Washington, a big fat guy. What was his name? Charlie Weiss. Oh, yeah. He got paid for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he had contracts from everybody.
Yeah. I know I said I felt bad for these guys earlier in that situation.
Now, you had you thought you had you saw a little more update stuff today than I had an opportunity to look at. Yeah. What do you think's going on? I think he's going to Florida, but you seem to think there's a little inkling of somewhere else.
I don't know, man. I saw the accounts for him going to Florida a few days ago, and then I read something about UCLA and how that looked like it was going to be a done deal. But you never know what the truth is on that. But he is originally a West Coast guy. It wouldn't surprise me for him to go to West Coast program such as UCLA. I think he knows when he's coming into the SEC, he's going to come into an SEC East that Georgia, as of right now, has a staple on, and he knows he's going to have to coach against, Kirby Smart, who's building and has a lot of headway in recruiting with that program in the East, and ultimately would have to face a team led by Nick Saban. And so maybe it's a case where he sees that UCLA, could be a better option as far as not having as much competition, on the field and recruiting. And it might be more advantageous to him. But that's what I saw as of late. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Florida. I think it would be a great hire for them, an amazing hire. And I think, with their lack of offensive progression over the last year and development of a quarterback, I think it would be a great hire for them, absolutely. But is it going to happen? I don't know. There's a lot of mixed things. But we won't know until it's all said and done. And all we can do is speculate, obviously. But I would not be surprised if the UCLA hire did come to fruition, for sure.
All right, so now if you're UCLA, I'm going to tie this in. If you're UCLA, who's one of the there's more Alabama people here. This is not good. This is not good. I want to welcome into Iron Bowl week, Ward M. Eagle. Glad to have y'all with us here tonight. So if you're the coach at UCLA and you got a guy, because I don't think, man, we could make this a separate topic. I'm going to throw this out real quick because my buddy BB Dog I know is listening.
Yeah.
Jacob Eason going to UCLA, that's a perfect fit if he goes there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could definitely happen for sure. But, yeah, you get a gunslinger in there like Eason. And, and with the recruiting that's open, it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
All right, so taking your calls tonight at 478-550-0524. We want to hear your thoughts on Georgia and Georgia Tech. And the Iron Bowl is our pick'em contest. It is Alabama traveling to Jordan-Hare Stadium and Pat Dye Field to take on the Auburn Tigers. All the chips on the line for the SEC West. Before we're going to take one more break here in just a second, Mark, but let's finish out this coaches thing real quick so we can move on to the game. So Tennessee, who are they looking at? Gruden's not going to Tennessee.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
Oh, are you killing the groomers?
The groomers are done as far as I'm concerned.
Man, don't do
He's going to make his $6-7 million. ESPN's laying off another 100,000 people. He'll get a raise.
Yeah, I don't think he leaves that situation at this point in his life. I don't think he has really anything to gain.
He's never recruited a college kid in his life.
Yeah, there was an interview, or maybe he was just talking on Monday Night Football. They were jabbering, and then the prospect of him going to coach was brought up, and it was so funny. He said, "Look, man," he said, "if I go and coach a college program," he said, "they would be on probation within 3 weeks." He said it. He said, "Look, I have no qualms about it saying that. I've been gone from the thing too long. I just don't think I would."
He never was in it.
He wasn't. You're right. He was always an NFL coach. He said he pretty much said, "Look, I don't have the experience, and the rules are too strict in my opinion, and I probably couldn't align myself with that and would get somebody in some trouble." So, right after you hear that, it doesn't look optimistic as far as him going there. I think let's bring back up Mike Leach. I think Mike Leach would be a good fit. I think that would be feasible for Tennessee. I wouldn't rule Scott Frost out. I think he.
But Nebraska's got to hire somebody, and he played for Nebraska.
Yeah. So maybe Scott Frost
goes home, or do you go home?
Yeah.
I don't know. How
SEC,
about an update on their game? You got that?
Absolutely. But yeah, the SEC is definitely intriguing though. The SEC has that intrigue factor for anyone, and I know anyone would probably want to go try to prove themselves, but I wouldn't rule out them wanting to go back to their hometown.
All right.
Score update is if we can get it loaded.
Let's go. Can you hear me now?
Let's see. All right, USF 34, UCF 42, with 2:21 left in the fourth. USF has the ball on their own 17, 1st and 20. So they're trying to drive. So
Central Florida's got to hold the season.
Yep, 8-point lead right now, and it looks like UCF is gonna try to use this 2-minute drill and get on the board and tie things up and maybe put this thing in overtime. Did you see the opening of that game? Did you get to watch any of that? That was an electric atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched. I watched South Florida score in 64 seconds, and then Central Florida came back down and tied it, and that was when I walked out to come in get prepped for the show.
But who would think the premier programs in 2017 would be USF, and UCF?
And does Charlie Strong's name come back up? I think it's too soon for him.
It's too soon.
After leaving. In my personal opinion, I've always thought the guy was a great football coach.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. From his days at Florida to what he did at Louisville and the mess that he went to they left for him at Texas. What was the guy at Texas name? Mac Brown.
Mac Brown.
Yeah, that was a mess, and I don't really know if Charlie ever fit in one reason or another in Texas, but I could see him
there
coaching.
Were some external factors.
Yeah. I mean, those people are crazy out there in Texas, son. Let me tell you something. So now we've covered Florida, we've covered Ole Miss, we've covered Arkansas, we've touched on Tennessee, and I don't know who's going to be the coach there. My problem with Bobby Petrino
has to get rid of the trash can, though.
That is an awful prop. That and the turnover chain. The turnover chain has got to die at the end of 2017. Everybody's doing it.
All right.
Everybody
started it, though, right? They were.
Did Miami start?
They're the U that kind of.
I don't know.
Along with the '80s U, and I get it. Like I'll give them that.
Okay, well,
the trash can. Their season was over the minute they pulled out that trash can for their turnover.
I mean, it's a trash can. I mean, it's kind of like what's the shoulder pad spike thing Georgia's got going?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so just gonna, we fly the Eagle, and after that we're done.
Yeah, well,
I mean, Alabama brings out old limp trunk Al, and you know what they say about Al? He can't get it up.
Oh gosh.
So then after Tennessee, then we look to A&M and Sumlin.
Okay.
I don't know about Sumlin yet. He started 4-5-0 every year,
but
he ends up 8-4, and 1 year he was 9-4.
So they have LSU tomorrow. They beat LSU.
We ain't gonna beat old Coach O. We gonna play Go Tiger.
Farmer Dan over there from Waterboy.
You need a translator. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's got him fired up in Baton Rouge, baby.
He does, and they played a good game against Bama a few weeks ago. I mean, they really
more first downs and outgained them in yardage.
So
didn't beat them on the scoreboard, but
they're strong, and it's going to be tough for A&M. But if they win that game, his chances are obviously better. I mean, it goes without saying. And if they lose 7-5, they're still going to a bowl. But my thing is, does A&M do they think they can get better than someone? Do they think they can land someone who's going to I don't know. But it does seem like they're a long way from Johnny Manziel's years when they were, in the thick of it.
But they went 9-4 and 8-4 under Manziel. That's the best they did. But did they win 10 games 1 year with a bowl game?
Yeah, they won the
maybe 1 year.
The Cotton Bowl in 2012. That was his redshirt freshman year when they actually beat Bama and Bryant Denny.
Maybe they went 10-3 that year.
Yeah. Yeah. So
but every other year he's ended up 8-4 or 9-4.
But when has A&M been that program that's?
Wait a minute, you don't know the Junction Boys store and Paul Bear Bryant? What's wrong with you, son?
Well,
God, I'm taking away your Southern card.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm talking about in the years I've been on this.
And Gene Stallings was there. He was the coach there.
Yeah. There's tradition, but my thing is, I don't know. I mean, I think there may be a solid defensive coordinator away.
Was Sheridan there?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
They have a solid offense. I think they're a solid defense away from being a more complete team. I mean, I don't know if a head coaching change. I mean, maybe someone who can get that defense doing something to go along with what's pretty much always going to be a competent offense. I mean, with someone at the helm.
They've got recruits. They've got the money. They've got a refurbished stadium.
But what is going on? Remember a couple years ago when they lost Kyle Allen. Remember, there was a couple other.
But it was because of Sumlin. They lost two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because of internal strife with Kevin Sumlin, and I don't know what it was about. And you'll probably never know what it was about. But they had the freshman phenom was Allen, and then he got hurt, and they started the other quarterback, and then they took him out, put Allen back in. It made them both mad, and they took their toys and went home.
Yeah. So if you factor in, him not voting well with his players and doing some stuff like that, that's a different story. And I would venture to say that a change probably will be made if it's an issue like that.
Here's the thing that gets me is the guy that John Chavis, that came from LSU that never had a bad defense.
Yeah.
And listen, I think
That's right.
Texas A&M's got a ton of talent.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
they've
absolutely.
got 102,000 seat stadium,
Oh.
or 110. I think it's just smaller than Knoxville.
Yeah.
They've got
Electric
they've
atmosphere.
got the facilities, everything there. Can you imagine if a guy like Bobby Petrino was to get into A&M or LSU, where he could also have defensive talent around him
Oh, yeah.
to go with his offense?
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what makes a guy like Lane Kiffin to me dangerous. But once again, all three of those guys, Chip Kelly included, are you smart enough to bring in a brilliant defensive coordinator and give him the scholarships he needs to build around your offense? And all of their stops, that's been their problems, except for Kiffin, obviously.
Yeah.
I think the guy that fits that mold that would do that to me would be Lane Kiffin. And I think
Can you imagine?
the time at Alabama
Yeah.
convinced him about that.
I think Kiffin would definitely be intriguing for them, and he would have the ability to put it all together. And man, can you imagine a yearly matchup with Kiffin and Saban?
I'd love it.
It would be amazing. And you're just going to have someone that can keep recruiting at a high level, keep recruiting those offense and defensive players, and put the right coaching personnel in there to get the defense where it needs to be. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you're going to have a competent defense to compete in the SEC West. It just is what it is. And, you know, I mean, the talent's there. Heck, they lost to Alabama by 8 points this year. You know what I'm saying? And it's there. I mean, they can do it. They can compete, but they have to reel it in, and they're going to have to get a defense.
And is Dan Mullen really a prospect for the Tennessee job? I think possibly he is. You know, that I don't think he didn't want to go back to Florida, but would you leave Mississippi State for A&M or Tennessee? Yes, I would.
Would you?
I'd leave him for A&M.
A&M, yes. Tennessee, I don't know. I don't know if he wants to go back to the East. I don't know. I read an interview where his wife was saying she hated living in Gainesville because they couldn't even go to the grocery store there after a loss when he was the offensive coordinator.
Oh yeah.
So,
no, he'll never go back to Florida,
Yeah,
and I don't think Florida wants him.
So I think Knoxville is even a step above that in the realm of crazy and what you have to deal with. So I don't think they do go there. I think A&M would be intriguing. I don't know if Dan Mullen would be the guy to jump teams within his own division. I mean, I think that would surprise me. I don't know if I just don't see that happening. I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen because, like you said, it is a great opportunity. But I don't know. That's interesting. But I think he's happy at Mississippi State. I think he is enjoying progressing with them, and he's getting them to the point. What was the score? What was the score of the Mississippi State A&M game? Do we know that?
I don't remember off the top of my head on it. But anyway, you find that out and give us an update on Central Florida and South Florida after we come back from this break. Absolutely. We're going to take a timeout, and we're going to get into start predicting these games. I need you to call tonight, 478-550-0524. Looking forward to your calls. We'll try to get you an update on a couple of these high school games if we can as well. Most of them are not kicked off yet, about 4 minutes away. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We're going to visit with Charles Crowley, the owner here at Stoner's Pizza, for a few minutes, and then we're going to bring Mark back in, and we're going to get into good old-fashioned hate and Iron Bowl. We'll be back after these timeouts.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'em, You Sell 'em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'em, You Sell 'em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Hey folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com. Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'em, You Sell 'em.
Before you put your company logo or event name on the streets, say it with authority. Apparel Authority. Now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's. Shirts, hats, cups, pens, patches, we put your logo on almost anything. Our team provides quality craftsmanship and custom embroidery, and our screen printing will turn your design into wearable works of art. Call or stop by in person for a quote. Apparel Authority, now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's.
This just in. A large storm in the Gulf has all but decimated the entire Gulf shrimping industry, with the exception of a lone shrimping boat manned by a legless veteran and a young gentleman that hasn't stopped waving at our cameras or telling us his mama's advice. Odd. In completely unrelated news, Kudzu Seafood Company, the authentic Gulf Coast seafood restaurant that brought the coast to Middle Georgia, has also cornered the shrimp market in Central Georgia. Barbecue shrimp and cheese grits, buffalo shrimp, firecracker shrimp tacos, shrimp po' boys, shrimp burgers, shrimp baskets, and Dr. Pepper, all on 3rd Street in downtown Macon. Stay tuned for more breaking news.
Join us Monday night at the Methodist Children's Home on Pierce Avenue as the Macon Touchdown Club continues its 72nd season of honoring student athletes. Our program will begin at 6:30 with our dinner soon to follow. Our guest speaker this week is none other than former University of Georgia All-American and ESPN analyst Matt Stitzcomb. That's Monday night, November the 6th at the Methodist Children's Home. It's the Macon Touchdown Club. We'll see you on Monday night. For more information, just log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Hey folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. And welcome back on a Thursday night. We are live from Stoner's Pizza on Forsyth Road. I'd love to hear your thoughts tonight. Our pick'em contest this week is the Iron Bowl, Auburn and Alabama. We've got 5 weeks left, including tonight. We've got this final weekend in the pick'em. Then we got the SEC championship game, the 2 playoff games, and the national championship game for you to get in and be a winner, and then get involved in the grand prize drawings. We want to thank Apparel Authority for all they've done for us on that. Cherokee Brick and Tile is going to give us a $1,000 shotgun, and we've got a $1,000 green egg, and we've got from Pawn Max Incorporated, our fine friends over there. They're giving away a 12-gauge home defense shotgun and an AR-15. So, about $2,000, $3,000 worth of prizes that you can. That's a lot of prizes. All right. So, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes, I did. I spent time with my family down in Savannah.
Down in Savannah, you getting them fired up down there? The Savannah bananas for the Making Bacon Pit to get on them.
There you go. I can't wait to go see it.
That's going to be a lot of fun, and we had. Mr. Pound from the Making Bacon on with us, Todd Pound, that's right, Todd Pound, with us last week. Let's see, let's get an update on some high school games if we can here real quick, see if I got anything. Everybody just about kicked off in the last few minutes, and I don't have any scores yet. Lee County and Mays are playing. They're tied up in the first quarter, 0-0. Lee County, another incredible year. But we've got Jones County, Peets County, Warner Robins, Stratford, and Mary Person still in it from the Middle Georgia area. So good luck to those teams as we've got about another half hour to go in the show here. So as we get some scores, we will. All right, so watched the Egg Bowl last night. Ole Miss pulls it off against Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State wins that game if Fitzpatrick doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, I think they do too, and I felt just horrible for that kid.
It was a Joe Theismann moment.
Yeah, well, at least he's going to get to come back and play. It looks like at least.
Boy, that's a tough injury to come back if you're a running quarterback. I mean, he was 18 yards short of 1,000 yards rushing for the year and only 90 yards short of Cam Newton's single season rushing record as a quarterback in the SEC. And, boy, that was just that's awful. And it is now said that Bielema has been dismissed as the head coach as per ESPN. So I don't know. I don't know.
Who's going to be the next head coach?
At Arkansas? I don't know who.
Gus Malzahn.
Oh, that's right. I've heard that. Friggin' Alabama people. All right. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay. So let's talk about what's going on today. Missouri came back and beat Arkansas, obviously. And as we're reporting now that his time as a Razorback coach, Brett Bielema has been dismissed at Arkansas. So that is per ESPN. They have let him go after this game. Tomorrow, South Carolina and Clemson. First of all, Miami has gone down to Pittsburgh. Yes. Mark and I are going to talk about this in a minute. Unbelievable. 4-6, Pittsburgh.
My father was talking to me before the game today, and I said, watch out. I said, Pittsburgh is known for taking down teams late in the season at home.
Yeah.
And I'll be done if they didn't do it.
They did it, and they showed they had 6 games against top 5 opponents over the last 15 years, and they had beaten 4 of the 5 of them on the last late in the season like that. So, wow, Mark Richt and the Georgia people are calling Miami and saying, "Welcome to my world." Right? So, all right, so they've gone down from the ranks of undefeated. Now they're going to play Clemson in the ACC game, so they kind of sit where the Dogs do now. They may could get in it, but they'd have to beat Clemson to do it.
Exactly. I think they're possibly still winning. They're in.
Losing, they're done.
Losing, you're done. Same thing with Clemson.
Same thing with Clemson. And I'm telling you, folks, there's more upsets coming. Mark's going to get us a update on UCF and USF here shortly and get us a final on that. He's over there feeding his face right now. So South Carolina and Clemson, any thoughts of an upset there? I think there's upsets coming. I'm not saying it's this game.
I'm going to say, there's always the possibility, especially when it's rivals, because you just don't know, how hyped up they all get, and sometimes they play over their heads, and the other team just doesn't see it coming. I'm sure Clemson, somewhere in the back of their heads, thinking, "Oh, we got this game." So Muschamp's a really good coach. He's a really good defensive coach. So let's see what they can do.
And they're 8-3.
Yeah.
They've quietly gone to 8-3. Florida and Florida State, nobody cares, and may not be anybody there. Everybody's looking for a coach now. Jimbo Fisher, maybe to Texas A&M.
Yes, that's what I heard, that Texas A&M was going to offer him something he could not refuse.
Yeah, and they've got the money.
So he's going to make him the highest-paid coach in college football.
All right, A&M and LSU. Oh, Coach Joe gonna get them.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
Go Tigers! I'm pulling for him. I'm telling you, I am. And I've always liked Coach Sumlin at A&M and what he's done, but there's too many 8-4 seasons in there. He's got the same problem that Gus Malzahn has at Auburn, but Gus has got a chance to turn that around this weekend. But I'm picking LSU in that game. Kentucky hosts Louisville. Louisville's kind of fell off the map, 7-4. But, for 4 weeks now, they've been talking about Petrino coming back to the SEC. I think he leaves Louisville and comes to the SEC, and he may get the job at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Because Gruden's not.
No. That's a pipe dream for
Chip
Tennessee.
Kelly going to Florida or not?
If not, I heard they are real hot on that
UCLA.
UCF guy. Florida is.
Scott Frost?
Yeah.
Nebraska needs a coach. He played for Nebraska.
Florida's got more money.
Yeah, that's true.
So you see, does the love of his old home team win or the money?
And it's not like Nebraska can't pay him plenty of money, because they certainly can.
But Florida can pay him more.
But will they? Because Florida's under a lot of scrutiny over the last couple of hires with Will Muschamp and
I think that's why they're trying to hit the home run with Chad Kelly.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But could Scott Frost come and show up? If I'm Scott Frost, I'm not leaving Central Florida for Ole Miss with them going into death stare of probation.
No way.
No, it's not going to happen.
Not as high as his stock is right now.
No, that's right. And I think they have come back with one when we bring Mark back in. All right, son. Before we get to the big one, let's go to the other big one around this area, Georgia and Georgia Tech. You see Paul Johnson and the Yellow Jackets even putting up a fight tomorrow. They'll put up a fight.
I'm going to say they keep it close into about midway through the third quarter, and then Georgia just takes off.
Kind of did what they did to Kentucky last week, 42-17, something like that. I kind of agree with you. All right. So it comes down to this. All the chips on the table, both teams, one team playing at the top of its game, the others played at the top of its game all year. What's going to happen in Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama?
I had a dream last night about the last
we don't want
play
to
of
hear.
the game.
Okay.
You want to hear this?
Oh, yeah. I thought you was going to tell me about something else. But
it was 20-19 Alabama.
Right.
Auburn was kicking the extra point.
Right.
And he goes to kick it, and all of a sudden this golf cart comes in between them, blocks it. It was Gus Malzahn trying to get out to Arkansas that much faster.
It's so full of crap. It's so full of crap. All right, this is going to be an amazing game, an amazing atmosphere.
Think so.
All right, so give me your prediction on this one.
I gotta pick Bama, of course.
Get on with that. Just go ahead, make it easy on yourself.
I'm gonna say it comes down to not a defensive struggle, somewhere in between defensive and offensive. I'm gonna give it a 28-27 Alabama.
Wow. 28-27. Here's the thing. They both got great field goal kickers. Daniel Carlson from Auburn is, just a phenom, and the guy that Alabama's had this year has played pretty well, too.
No, ours is a head case.
Yeah, well.
We haven't had a good field goal kicker since I don't know when.
Well, Van Tiffin. Yeah. All right, 28-27. All right, we've gotten through Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday. It's Shop Till You Drop Friday. What's going on at Stoner's Pizza?
Well, I would like to, here in the near future, we are going to hook up with the Macon Bacon. We're going to be giving a lot of tickets away when the season starts to roll around, doing lots of, order this. We're actually creating a Macon Bacon pizza.
Oh, yeah, baby. There you go.
Double bacon, ham, pineapple.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds like a winner.
I'm excited to
All right,
team up with them.
So the weather's turning cold. That's the time for piping hot pizza and some hot wings.
Exactly.
All right, brother. So you had a good Thanksgiving. Now we get ready to roll into the holiday season. But I'll tell you what, the next 4 or 5 weeks are going to be something to behold in college football.
Yes.
Give me an upset this weekend that you don't see on paper that you think might happen.
I'd already picked it today, so I got robbed of that one.
Yeah, that don't count. Nobody heard you say that. So give me another one. Who's Michigan, Ohio State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Clemson, South Carolina, Auburn, Alabama? Whoever wins that, it's not an upset. It's not either way. I mean, they're pretty even football teams. Anything you see out there?
Anything I can think of. I'm gonna go with this. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm just gonna say this is the one that would probably shock me the least. Would be Carolina over Clemson.
Carolina over Clemson. Wow. Boy, that would throw. Can you imagine now the last weekend? We're playing fantasy football. Clemson, Alabama, and Miami go down. And Wisconsin's got who left? I don't know who Wisconsin's got left.
I think they play some team out there in Hawaii or something.
Oh, well, yeah. So, anyway.
Then they have to play. They're playing Minnesota this week.
Oh, the Golden Gophers.
That
a way to really close out the schedule there.
But then
Wisconsin.
You got to end it with Ohio State, and if they don't beat Ohio State, they're out.
Yeah.
And then you got them other three losing. Looks like Ohio State could be right back in the mix.
And the Dogs would be right in the mix. Because then we rolled a championship weekend. Yep. And then all of a sudden, everybody. I mean, so the undefeated teams left are only Clemson.
Nobody.
Alabama.
Alabama. That's it.
That's it. And Central Florida.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're number 14. They're number 14.
Yeah.
You don't want none of Scott Frost, baby. You don't want nothing other the Black Knights, baby. They're bad.
That was about like Georgia playing Hawaii that year, and they were undefeated.
Yeah.
And you've seen how that went.
That's true.
That seems that's.
Wait a minute now.
Boise State teams.
Wait a minute. I heard this about Alabama and Utah at a Sugar Bowl not too long ago too, and we all saw what happened there.
Yeah. But Utah had been putting up some decent teams for some years.
Right, and this is exactly what LSU thought going into the Troy game. The mighty Trojans.
Well, give us 3 weeks to prepare for UCF and tell them if you win, you're in.
All right, 28-27. Interesting weekend, folks. I'm telling you.
Are we not going to get your pick? Or you already?
I'm gonna give it to you. Stick around and listen. We're gonna come back and close out the show with my pick. All right, everything good at Stoner's Pizza, and
everything's great.
Can't wait till next weekend. SEC champion. Let me tell you something. I'll save it till the end of the show. You'll have to stick around and listen. I know you'll be here, but you'll have to listen. I know you're usually out socializing with your patrons. But all right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back in. We're going to bring Marco Quinn back in, and we're going to get his thoughts as we get deeper in this Georgia Tech and Auburn, Alabama. Invite your calls at 478-550-0524. Got time to get your call in and give us your pick. We're going to pick Georgia and Georgia Tech just for fun. But the pick 'em this week is the Iron Bowl, Auburn versus Alabama. All right, brother, glad you had a good Thanksgiving, and let's knock out the rest of this year and make it a good end to the year.
There you go.
All right, take a time out. We'll be back after these messages.
Crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'em, You Sell 'em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'em, You Sell 'em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Hey folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables. Hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com. Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'em, You Sell 'em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'em, You Sell 'em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'em, You Sell 'em.
Before you put your...
And welcome back on a Thursday night as we are live at Stoner's Pizza. Charles Crowley, the proprietor here at Stoner's Pizza, just joined us a few minutes ago, giving his thoughts on the college football season, the coaching carousel, etc. It has been reported that Brett Bellema at Arkansas has been let go at Arkansas. We have just saw a tweet from Mark Schlabach at ESPN, and he said Bellema is now saying he was fired in the game day office adjacent to the stadium after walking off the field. And then Bellema, Bo Mattingly at Sports Talk over in Arkansas, said he was informed in his game day office adjacent to the locker room after the game. But let's go back to the phones. It's good old-fashioned hate week. And it's Georgia and Georgia Tech, and what better to have on with us now than the famous BB Dog himself. What's up, my brother?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I hope you had a good one.
You too, man.
Look at
that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, until, I had to get up at the crack of dawn and come back and try to make a living today, and shortly realized thereafter that unless you were had a car lot at a mall, you weren't going to do a lot of business today. But I did.
No. You didn't have no Black Friday deals?
Yeah, I did. I had a really nice Harley Davidson I was trying to give away today.
I'm going to tell you one thing, man. We just watched two of the wildest things football games I've ever seen in my damn life. Unbelievable.
Okay, so you got to be talking about, first of all, Arkansas and Missouri. That was
that is correct, and then of course Central Florida and South Florida. Absolutely.
Okay, my co-host tonight is a longtime broadcast friend with me that was partners with me for years. Came up through the Middle Georgia State program with us, Marco Quinn, and he was supposed to give me an update, but he's ordering calzones instead. So I'm going to let you tell us how South Florida and Central Florida ended.
Oh my God! It was just back and forth, and then I mean, it literally happened so fast I can hardly remember. One of them scored on a long pass. Then the next team, I guess it was Central Florida, ran the kick all the way back, and then I mean, it was just crazy, man. I mean, there's like 4 touchdowns in 2 minutes.
So the final has been Central Florida remained undefeated. Charlie Strong came in with 1 loss. I mean, golly, that guy's a heck of a coach. Mark and I were talking about this, Brett. I got to watch the opening of that game and the first 2 drives by both of them, which they both scored a touchdown on. That was an incredible atmosphere down there. That's a big stadium. I mean, it's not Sanford or Jordan Hare or Knoxville, Nayland or anything, but what a great atmosphere they had.
Yeah, it was a blackout. It was incredible, the blackout. Then they did the flashlight stuff like we did at Notre Dame, in the fourth quarter. That was incredible. They did that 2 or 3 times, actually, when they scored all those touchdowns.
Hey, the kid that's quarterback for South Florida, he's fun to watch, ain't he?
Yeah, he is, too. I mean, I tell you, it was kind of pulling for him. I did not realize that he has no family. I mean, Charlie Strong really took him in at senior day. I guess it was last weekend or whatever there in Tampa. But,
wow.
Yeah, it was. I like both coaches.
Absolutely.
They're both going places. This place, Scott Frost, if Scott Frost
yes, that's
right
correct.
Street to Gainesville. If Chip Kelly goes to UCLA, he's going to Gainesville. I promise that.
He wouldn't go back to Arkansas where he played at?
Scott Frost? I don't know. He could.
Yeah.
Nebraska, I'm sorry.
The deal there with your boy Belima just getting the axe while it goes.
Yeah.
I might still reach out to him.
That's right. Hey, did you watch the Egg Bowl last night?
Yes, man. And when the picture of Fitzgerald's foot on Facebook where it's completely backwards is unbelievable.
Yeah, that was.
I'm no doctor, but legs aren't supposed to go that way.
Yeah,
no.
I was sitting there watching it, and I looked at it, and I just my brain said something's wrong with that, and they went to a commercial, and I just couldn't figure it out. I knew he was hurt, and then immediately I pulled up that picture on the internet, and I thought, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But so Ole Miss they get a win for their interim coach. And I thought that was big for them, especially this kid to step in and do what he had to do 2 weeks before the kickoff of the season. And, so they what did they finish, 6-6 now?
Ole Miss?
Yeah.
I think they were 6-6. And State went to, I guess, 8-4, yeah.
Okay, so, Brett, looking around before we get into the 2 games we want to talk about, any upset that you see out there on the horizon tomorrow? I mean,
yes, I've already called it 3 or 4 times on Facebook.
Okay, what is it?
I didn't predict Pitt to win today, but man, that was sweet. And I do predict that Clemson's going down in Columbia, South Carolina. Call me for psycho, whatever you want to do. I predict that.
Well, okay,
all week.
So, any chance of Michigan beating Ohio State?
We were just talking about that before I called you. The coverage is coming on Fox at 10:30 a.m. My boys are home Thanksgiving. They're like, that game comes on at 10:30? I'm like, no, I think it comes on at 12, but it's pregame.
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Michigan's terrible, but wouldn't it be great if they could just knock the media darlings out of the picture? That'd be good.
I just think, but Mark and I have sat here and talked about this tonight, and Mark, you can jump in here about you're down to Alabama now. Is the only undefeated team. Well, no, I'm sorry, Central Florida. But,
Central Florida.
But Alabama's it. And, you still got championship weekend to go next week, and there's more teams that could get beat in that are not supposed to get beat.
Dude, it's going to be chaos, I'm telling you. I mean, that's why I love sitting there in the catbird seat. Well, I was going to say 7. Well, we're at least number 6 now because of Miami losing today, the way I look at it.
They'll jump now.
I like my chances.
Okay, so let's go to good old fashioned hate Georgia Tech tomorrow at Grant Field.
37-17 dogs.
Yeah, I figured like the Kentucky game. I figured, that 42-13, 42-17. Maybe Mark seems to think it might go to the second quarter. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a Kentucky-like game, or Missouri, where Tech's going to be amped up. They're going to give them a shot, and they're going to hang around. But Georgia's going to be too much, and they're going to pull away. I think, without a doubt. I wouldn't be surprised though if they didn't stretch it into the second quarter and give them some kind of a fight. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel about it. It'll be kind of like Kentucky.
All right, Brett. So
yeah, and I feel like Grant Field because they're pretty much like South, and at least 50 dogs for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
if not more.
For the life of me, I cannot figure that out. I mean, a school with that kind of tradition is just
wasn't that crazy?
I just can't figure that out up there for the life of me, and I don't know. I mean, is there any speculation that Paul Johnson's in a little bit of trouble now at Georgia Tech? Anybody got an idea like that?
He's been there 10 years, and I don't know what they want. What do they expect up there? You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand that dynamic because it's not like Tech is just doesn't have tradition. I mean they won the national championship when 90 was it? They won
91.
91.
Yeah.
And this guy, I mean, when have they done better than 7 or 8 wins?
Exactly.
Well,
it's confusing to me that he seems so solidified. I mean,
playing a goofy ass offense.
Exactly. You factor that in too, that they're playing.
And see, that's what I hate about tomorrow, man. I call them the shot blocking nerds, man. I mean, the North Avenue Trade School is going to be shot blocking us all over the place. We just got to survive. We got to survive.
It's not shot blocking. It's not illegal what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
The player's got to be engaged by another player to call it a chop block.
North Avenue Trade School.
All right, they've got like 7 national championships. Don't forget that. But I think you're right. I mean, I'm calling it, Georgia by 24 to 28 points tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move.
I can't believe the line's only 11. Here I go talking about the line.
Is it 11? Is it only 11?
Yeah, I can't find out kind of. That's a little hard to believe, even playing at Tech, that it's only 11 points. I figured a 14, 16-point game there as far as what Vegas wanted. But, Vegas gets scared of these rivalry games. I mean, what was the line on Miami and Pittsburgh today?
Absolutely. Hey, we still got to play the game and win the game. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I'll be nervous till it's over, So.
That's right.
Good thing we do have early kick. We'll get over with, and then we'll watch the big old Iron Bowl.
Yeah, and let's move on to that one, the big old Iron Bowl. Well, the world's going to shake tomorrow along the eastern plains of Alabama because it's for all the marbles. Bama and Auburn. Alabama's starting to get some of these hurt people back. The atmosphere is going to be off the chain. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like.
Game day's going to be there. Game day will be there.
Yeah, game day will be there. As we've talked before, interesting stats. Nick Saban 9-6 lifetime against Auburn. He's 0-6 when he's played a team that had more than 8 wins or 9 wins.
9 wins, yep.
And I went back and looked today. Since 1981, there's been 36 Iron Bowls. The record going into tomorrow is 18 wins for Alabama, 18 wins for Auburn. A lot of people won't believe that, but that is the truth. 81 through 216, it's 18 games.
Remember, man, back in the 80s when us were winning our deal and y'all were winning with Bo Jackson, absolutely. I remember those games, bud.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway.
Alabama had some teams in, too. So, all right, what's your thoughts on this one?
I think it's going to be a freaking slugger knock, man. I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
I do have to pick. I guess, again, maybe with my, I don't know if it's my heart or my brain, or either one. 31-24, Tide.
31-24.
Roll, Tide, roll.
The Mullet Nation. I can't believe you're picking them against us. Golly. Didn't you learn anything over in Jordan here 2 weeks ago?
Dude, why would I want to play you again? You think I'm going to be losing to you twice? Let's just go ahead and unfriend each other.
That would be incredible. You get a second shot. Hey, let me tell you something, dude. This is what we want. If Auburn meets Georgia again for the SEC championship, you talk about a show. We're going to put a show together to do. We may go We may go all 3 hours before kickoff live from Stoner's Pizza. Bring you in. I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to bring Jim Harden in. I'm going to bring Mike Owens, Marco Quinn. I'm going to get Bobby Pope. I'm going to get Marvin James over here. Yeah, we're just going to be off the chain, brother.
We'll do it outside Mercedes-Benz.
yeah, that would be fun now.
I gotta have my cows on. I couldn't do that.
Very fun. Auburn's got a heck of a shot at it.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Next 2 weeks is going to be a lot of fun. I'll give my prediction here in just a minute. But, all right, brother, Dog Deck Live, early kickoff tomorrow. What you going to do?
Well, people have been texting me and stuff. I think we'll probably do maybe a little one at halftime and definitely after the game, leading up to the Iron Bowl. Absolutely.
All right. Well, wait a minute. What about pregame?
It's 12 kick. I don't know. Maybe.
You trying to get 18 in before you pull for the game, right?
Say again?
You trying to get 18 in before you get there for the game. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Don't tell that lie. All right, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow then.
Yeah, holler.
I'll do it. Thanks, Brett.
Appreciate you, man.
Brett Barron, BB Dog. All right, we got just a couple more minutes to get your calls in at 478-550-0524. Have you made a pick in the Iron Bowl yet?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
This morning.
Oh, you did. So, you had a lot of difficulty with that pick. What'd you end up at?
It was, I think it went 13-7.
13-7. So you're thinking defense.
Yeah, I mean, despite the high octane offense, Bama and Auburn both have. I think like Brett said, it's gonna be just a slobber knocker. It's gonna be tough, and it could be high scoring. I don't see it like that. I think it's going to be low scoring, kind of like that LSU-Bama game back in 2011, if you remember that, the regular season game where it was all field goals pretty much.
Yeah.
Despite them both having pretty solid offenses coming into that game, but yeah, that's my pick. It's going to be a good one.
All right, so let's give you some updates on this. Into one, Mays and Lee County are 0-0. Stratford is up 7-0 in their game, and Mary Persons has just scored on fourth down in the second quarter. They lead in their game 14-7, and I don't have anything on Jones County yet. If you're just joining us, Arkansas has fired Brett Bellama, and he was fired as soon as the game was over. So let's take one more final break. We'll come back and wrap it up after this. You're listening to Gridiron Gab on ESPNSports.com. We'll be back after these timeouts. Hey, folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. It's football time. And welcome back into the Gridiron Gab here at Thursday night at Stoner's Pizza. We're picking the Iron Bowl as our game this week. Let's go back to the phones quickly, and we got Mike on the phone. What's up, Michael?
What's happening, Russell? It's the week.
It is the week, rivalry week. And I said that without sounding like Elmer Fudd. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
We're playing the Bumblebees this week, so it'll be good.
Yeah, every Mark and I have been sitting here talking about this, and Charlie and all our callers, and I don't think it's going to be much of a contest. Do you?
It's like every time when we play Tech or anybody else plays them. It's just can you play assignment football and stop Johnson's attack? And that's it. Yeah. And we've been able to do it some, and in games that we have lost contained, didn't play our position, played ball, we end up losing. So I hope that Kirby's got him in the right frame of mind, and not looking ahead to the Iron Bowl to see who they're going to play. So, yeah, I think we're going to beat them.
All right, Mike, so give me a score in that game just for fun. That's not the pick'em contest this week, but let's do it for fun.
I'm thinking 31-17 Georgia.
I think he's about right, Mark.
31-17?
Yep.
Yeah, Georgia.
You think they come out and struggle a little bit, kind of like last week, or the first couple quarters and they pull away?
I think the first couple of series, Tech, they have to figure it out. But I think after that, the guys on defense have come back because they were embarrassed to lose Tech at Sanford Stadium last year, and they don't want that to happen again. So I think they're going to be flying to the ball.
I think you have to factor in Nick Chubb and his senior leadership as well. You go back to before they played Tennessee, and there was reports that said Nick stood up in the locker room and just flat out said, "We're not losing to them." And you know how it went down last year. I think the fact that he broke his leg on their turf a couple years before that factored in. And there was emotion in that. And I think with Tech too, winning 2 out of the last 3, those senior leaders are going to come up and they're going to tell these younger guys, look, we're gonna go out and we're going to take care of these guys. And there's no dilly-dallying around. I mean, it's going to be straight business, and they're going to do what they got to do. And I think that factors in a whole bit, in my opinion, is that senior leadership stepping up and just not allowing an egg to be laid on that field tomorrow at Tech.
I think Tech's defense is going to get a steady dose of number 27 and number 1.
Ain't no doubt about that because they have struggled stopping the run this year. Hey, being an old Mary Person Bulldog, I'm going to give you an update. They were leading 14-7, and Jefferson has answered back, and that game is knotted up 14-all. And another Macon School, Stratford, is leading 7-0 in their game. Haven't heard anything on Jones County and Warner Robins or Peach County yet. But all right, let's move on to the game that really matters tomorrow, and that is the Iron Bowl. So if you're but before you talk about that game, if you're a Georgia fan, do you want to play Auburn again or do you want to play Alabama? You're going to play one of the two. Which one you want?
Now, when do y'all play? This week or next week?
What?
Is there a game in Alabama this weekend?
Yeah, I think they're playing volleyball there tomorrow at 3:30 on CBS.
It doesn't matter. I mean, really, we're gonna have to play one of them, and if we play Auburn again, we got the luxury of having seen them once. If we play Alabama, then we just play Alabama. It doesn't matter to me.
All right, so it'll
make for more entertainment with my friends if we play Auburn. Because I know many more Auburn guys than I do Alabama guys. So.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so give me a score.
I'm like O'Quinn. I cannot figure out this game. I think it's going to be closer. I know I heard he picked 13-7 Alabama. I think it's going to be something similar to that. I'm thinking more like 17-14 Alabama.
I think I've already got that score, so you'll have to give me another one.
Okay, good. Let's see here.
I left the sheet at the house. I should have had it here.
All right, how about 21-17 Alabama?
21-17 Alabama. I'll let you know if that's good. Okay. I'll have to go check that against the rest of the score. Same with Brett and the rest of them. All right, brother. Well, where you going to watch the game at? You going to be at the house watching the game?
I'm going to be there watching every play.
All right, so to 12 o'clock, you got Georgia Tech. On ABC, you got Ohio State, Michigan. And then 3:30, it's the Iron Bowl. Look, we've got a Buckeye in here.
The
head coach of Urban Myth. So they got the mighty the Wolverines tomorrow. We got a big Ohio State fan, as I said here. Yeah. All right, brother, it's going to be a fun weekend. I don't think it's done. I think it's not. I think we got 2 more weeks of craziness in the college football season.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Don't walk in front of the camera.
Those next couple of weeks, but.
All right, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, appreciate your show, Russ.
Thank you, Mike. All right, that's going to about wrap it up for us. We do not have any other updates other than to give my score in the Iron Bowl, which I'm going to give right here in a few minutes. But you had something special you wanted to play for us from.
Yeah, let me see. Just in the spirit of the Iron Bowl, let's see what we have here.
I don't think we can hear it.
Can we hear it? We can't hear it.
Nah, we get. He had that.
Man.
That was from the Paul Feinbaum show.
I had
of course,
Tammy.
that's probably
that's
probably copyrighted. We're probably going to get in trouble for doing that. Anyway.
I want to play some Tammy for us real quick. She always has some good.
What's
things
that
to
crazy
say.
guy from Georgia that calls Feinbaum? What's his name?
Oh man, I don't even know.
Yeah, you know who that moron is. And then we got the guy from Alabama on there, or whatever. But all right, so Georgia, I think I'm calling Georgia 41. 44-17 dogs in their game, and I'm going to write that down. I'm going to 44-17. I just do not think the Yellow Jackets can hang with them defensively. All right, the Iron Bowl. Only twice have they met where it meant for the SEC West title in this decade. It was 2013. It's all knotted up in the Iron Bowl for the last 37 years.
Let's talk about how that ended in 13.
Yeah, that was
pretty special, right? Whether you're an Auburn fan, Alabama
fan,
I mean, whether you don't even have a dog in the fight, I think that was pretty special.
This is one of the greatest moments in college football.
You were there, right?
I was there 2 weeks in a row. I was there for the tip 6 against Georgia, where we blew a 20-more-point lead with 9 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah,
typical Gus Malzahn. And then I was there for kick 6. I'm telling you, that night in Auburn, if we go to overtime, Auburn beats Alabama that night.
I think so too. But no one thinks that Chris Davis is going to catch that ball and run it back. I don't think. I mean, were you even thinking about that?
We were going to overtime.
The kick was short. All right,
yeah.
But he catches the ball.
Wait a minute. That's not even the thing. They had another guy back there and swapped him out with Chris Davis when Alabama called timeout. And he ran it back 109 yards. And it was as close to as great a moment. I mean, the Georgia game, I thought 2 weeks before, couldn't be beat.
Pretty awesome.
That was probably as close to the 1972 punt Bama punt. But when they did the kick 6, the punt Bama punt.
Yeah, I had a
that's
buddy.
the two great games I ever got to go to, and I was at both of them.
Tell me, he said he looked at his wife and he said, "Look, we're probably not going to see anything as crazy as we saw with the tip 6." And then the week later, that happens, and yeah, I mean it was just that kind of year. It was really amazing, and I don't know. I just want to bring that up. I saw the replay. We're going to see the replay 100 times before tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely.
It's special. It's a special rivalry, and I feel like we're in store for something really good tomorrow. It's going to be an amazing game.
Okay, so let me give you before I get to my Mary Persons has just scored again. They lead Jefferson 21-14. Mary Persons answers back after taking the lead and giving it up. Peach County leads in their game against Westminster 7-0. Stratford was up 7-0 in their game. I do not have a Jones County score yet. I wonder where Marvin James is at. Come on, son, I need you. But anyway, here's how it's going down. The Iron Bowl is going to be a defensive game until we go to the fourth quarter. I think both teams are going to score twice in that fourth quarter, and it's in Jordan-Hare. The crowd is going to be unbelievable. I think Daniel Carlson is the secret weapon. Alabama's going to be leading 30-28, and Auburn's going to kick a field goal and beat them 31-30. And that's what I think is going to happen in the Iron Bowl. I'm going 31-30 Auburn, and then we'll get ready for an off-the-change Gridiron Gab.
Yep.
If Auburn gets to face the Dogs again in the SEC Championship. Mark, I can't let you get out of here, my friend. I appreciate you coming in and sitting with me tonight.
Absolutely.
We've been doing this a long time together now, it seems like, even though you're not got a lot of age on you, but we've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
You started young with me, but tell everybody what you're doing now. I mean, you're done with college, and you had a calling, so tell us what you're doing now.
Yeah, for the last 2.5 years, I've been over at Parkway Assembly of God, leading the youth ministry over there. there and also leading Upward Basketball Ministry. That's been really awesome. And,
are you coaching Upward Basketball?
I am.
My
God! I coach and I run the league as well. I like having my hand in all.
I'm sure
facets.
You do. You're
Yeah,
doing the draft every week.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm that guy.
Yep.
Have you ever seen Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell? No, I'm not that bad. I'm not like that. But no, I've been over at Parkway, and the Lord's been doing great things. Been able to have a lot of great experiences there, and it's been a real blessing. But I have a passion in this. I was thankful for you to give me the opportunity back in 2013, and then let me continue to do color. And I've been really wanting to get on this show for a while with you. It was awesome tonight to be able to do it, and I look forward to doing it again. And this will always have a special place in my heart. But yeah, that's what's been going on with me, and had a great time tonight. Can't wait to watch a good Georgia Tech game tomorrow, and I think I'll have to root for Auburn tomorrow. I think I'll have to pull them through. I don't know. I have a weird liking for Auburn every now and then. I have to.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, you got a big event coming up, and you'll have to. You're getting married here in the next couple of weeks.
December 16th. I think Kelsey is watching right now. So shout out to Kelsey Bramlett.
Just run.
who will be Kelsey O'Quinn in a few weeks.
That's fantastic,
That's
brother.
crazy to think. But yeah, so that's coming up, and we're gonna have a great time. Next stage of life, and just another blessing, man, that I don't deserve, but it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna receive it.
And we're thrilled for you. And Kelsey, thank you. You picked the right guy, in my opinion. He's a good man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate everything you do.
Appreciate you, man.
Love it. Can't wait to have you back. And
Absolutely.
Hey, maybe we can squeeze in an SEC championship game before you get ready for that wedding.
Hey, hopefully I'll be happy on December 3rd.
I understand. All right. Thank you, folks. We're going to be back next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget to go to Facebook and see my buddy BB Dog tomorrow. Brett Barron on Facebook. He'll have his show up live from the dog deck over there at the Barron Estate, and they'll be getting ready for Georgia Tech, and we'll be getting ready for the Iron Bowl. We'll see you next Thursday night, everybody. I want to thank Marco Quinn once again, Charles Crowley at Stoner's Pizza, all our sponsors, of course, U Park and Musellum, Stoner's Pizza, Apparel Authority, Ponmax Incorporated, Cherokee Brick and Tile, BT Media Productions. Couldn't do this without Brandon Thompson. Everybody that's involved in it, Kudzu Seafood, Texas Border Grill, the Macon Touchdown Club, one more time, Macon Touchdown Club Monday night, Super Bowl player and four-time Super Bowl champ and former Lanier player, J.T. Thomas will be here, and that's Monday night. Last meeting of the regular season, Monday night at the Methodist Children's Home on Forsyth Road, and then we'll do our Jamboree in February, and Gus Malzahn, Auburn, will be the keynote speaker for that, and that'll be our big gala event. We've had Kirby Smart the last 2 years. We got Gus Malzahn coming this year, and could be interesting to see what kind of situation he comes to visit Macon in.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, until next Thursday night as we get ready for the SEC Championship. The Dogs got Tech tomorrow in clean old-fashioned hate, and it's the Iron Bowl from Jordan Hare in Auburn, Alabama. War Eagle, everybody. Our time is up.
Go Dogs.
We thank you for yours. We'll see you next week, folks. Bye-bye.